Right. So I got the extract where Tara's venting to her old friend. I can't remember his name, but she's venting to her old friend about how she's losing her family,
Mm-hmm.
and he suggests that maybe she should let them go. And when she responds that she can fix it, he points out that even after everything, she still sounds the same as she did when they were 17. And I've connected this extract to identity, because I think this really makes you acknowledge the fact that Tara needs to reassess the manner in which she faces conflict regarding her family. Because she's always had this demonetizing mindset where she tones down the severity of everything, basically. Her father's unassailable doctrine and her brother's abuse. And as a result of her isolated upbringing, she hasn't really had anyone to talk to about it, and so she hasn't really had any other choice than to tell herself whatever she needs to in order to get through it. So that's kind of the first part of it. And then the rest of the extract is about when Tara's parents come to visit her at Harvard, and she describes how strangers gawk at her father's disfigured face, and it's almost like a metaphor of how her father and her old life don't mix with her new life at college. And yeah, I think it really reflects upon her identity and everything she's been through, both in the first part where we really see how she's got this kind of mindset where she just, this thing where you have like fish vision.
I thought it was called tunnel vision. Oh yeah, no, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I feel like she's got that, and she's just shutting out all the things that she doesn't want to see, and she just focuses on, I don't know, she doesn't really have anything positive to focus on, but she kind of makes it up, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I feel like, yeah, this entire extract really points out her identity and the fact that her identity is now becoming something that doesn't match the rest of her family's. Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. I feel like, you know, what you said about the fish vision.
Yeah.
It's hard to say, kind of. I kind of even think like she's watching it all in third person, kind of like she's not really part of it. I feel like when during her toughest moments, she's just kind of a standby, or like she's just standing in the corner watching, and like kind of disconnecting herself to her body, which is like, I think it's a kind of weird way to cope, but I suppose you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, I feel like in very hard moments, it's a lot easier to disassociate from your own body and your own experience and just kind of see everything as objective, to not have to deal with any of it. And I feel like she does that a lot. I feel like, I don't know, she's really in third person, and she's never been in any control. She's never been able to control her life and anyone around her and everything. So it's kind of just natural that she has become this third person perspective where she can't really do anything about anything.
Yeah. Do you think that the third person perspective makes her kind of more aware of, or like, do you think she's like she gets kind of never mind, I don't know where I was going with that.
I feel like she is in third perspective, and she sees everything that happens, and I feel like she knows the things that are bad and the things that needs to change and everything, but then she kind of gets back into her own head and she actually thinks about it, and when she's in her own head, she just pretends that everything is okay, and she just looks past all of the negatives. So in her third person perspective, she sees everything and she knows that she's in a bad place and everything. And she's really smart in her third perspective, but then she comes back and I mean, she has her natural instinct and everything to love her family and all of her experiences and just wanting to belong. So then she makes it make sense, even though it doesn't.
Yeah, I think that was kind of what I was thinking, because she's like in a minority of people who actually managed to get out of the family and the weird jargon they've got there. So maybe like her being able to step out of her own body sometimes made her more objective to everything that's happened, so that even when she gets back into her own body, or that sounds very literal. But, when she gets back into her own body, maybe she still got some, like, she's a bit more objective than maybe Audrey, who never really managed to escape from the family.
Yeah. So I feel like this really pinpoints her identity and the fact that her identity is changing.
Yeah.
As she's distancing herself slowly from her family.
I think that the thing that Charles says, like about her being the exact same as she was several years ago, I think that's very, like, super true, and I feel like it must have been kind of a wake-up call for her too.
Yeah, and I feel like this is the first time that she's actually able to develop an identity. Because I feel like in that house with her parents and her siblings and everything, there wasn't really space for her to have an identity.
Yeah.
So I feel like this is the first time that she's out in the world and she has space and she has the opportunity to actually be a person.
Yeah,
Where before the only person she was able to be was her father's daughter, and now she can be more than that.
I think that sounds, it's very reasonable.
Cool.